as the Broncos and the Chiefs are out to settle a whole lot of business here in the AFC West, coming in tied at 9-2, as well as the overall #1 position in the conference on the line here today. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Super Bowl MVP quarterback Phil Simms. They met 2 weeks ago in Denver. Broncos won it by 10, but the Chiefs walked away saying, you know what? We can play with them.
That's right. They gained some confidence in that game because they stayed in it and they made some big mistakes. They think they've corrected them. We'll find out if it makes a difference in the game.
This game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. We were here a week ago when San Diego came to town and beat the Chiefs in a thriller, and it's 31 degrees warmer today than it was last Sunday. Both teams, though, coming off wrenching losses last Sunday. And Denver, after deferring, winning the toss and winning the kick, it's Diggs on the run back, and he's all the way out to the 31 where he's tripped up by Quentin Jammer. Alex Smith had a big performance last Sunday, but they came up short. He threw for almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Good numbers on the season, 14-5. Of course, traded just after the Super Bowl last year. A member of the 49ers lost out his starting job after being concussed. Kaepernick taking him to New Orleans. Here's his line. Schwartz and Stevenson, they filled in last week. And Asamoah and Fisher are healthy, but they earned a chance to restart here today. Schwartz and Stevenson on that right side. And Charles was over 100 last week. Coming out, throwing over the bow, and Dwayne Bowe with Bailey on the coverage. Bailey back in the lineup for the Broncos. Pushes him out after a gain of 9. Malik Jackson starts for Derek Wolfe, who is ill after seizure-like symptoms yesterday or 2 days ago on the way to the Denver airport. He did not make the trip here, obviously, and there's Champ Bailey back in the lineup. He's only been active, really healthy, for about a game and a half this entire season. That foot, though, has mended, and he's ready to go. They threw in his direction on the first play. On 2nd and 1, Smith working the middle, and Bailey again is the cover man, but the completion goes to McCluster, and Bailey already is gimpy after a 7-yard pass play.
Trying to throw it outside quick. It's taken away. Goes inside. Champ Bailey definitely grabs. I don't know if his arm, what he hurts. Well, it fell right on his left arm, it looked like, or his stomach. But
and he's down on one knee and replaced by Quentin Jammer as Smith connects on the first 2 plays of the game. Now they'll go with Charles. He's having a big season, and Charles butts heads and gets near a first down running behind Brendan Albert.
You said it, nice blocking. Brandon Albert on the outside. Watch Jamal Charles, how he hugs the block as he goes around the corner. Right? It just stinks inside by Brandon Albert, and that way Webster, number 36, cannot make the tackle. I'd stay close to a big guy, too. Get some protection. Beautiful run by Jamal Charles.
And by the way, that is Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who is out with a shoulder injury suffered in the game at New England last week. So Webster's in for him. Jammer in for Bailey. Knocked out after 2 plays. 2nd and 1. And that'll pick up the first. Charles down to the Denver 40. Charles, 2nd in the NFL in scrimmage yards. The only man with more was Sean McCoy of the Eagles. He can have his 1,000 yards here in the 12th game of the season. Got 53 catches. That's the most on this team, and 10 total touchdowns.
Well, let's see. The Denver Broncos, what's the key to this Kansas City offense? 1, 2, and 3. It's Jamal Charles. If he has a big day, you're in trouble.
On first down, it's Charles again. Up the gut for 4. Trevathan with the tackle.
Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Terry McCauley will back him up 10 yards.
'71's the left guard. You know, you look at the interior defense for this Broncos defense. As you look at them, you got to remember Kevin Vickerson, great run stopper, is out of there. They started Mitch Unrein today. They're going to just rotate a bunch of defensive linemen through that lineup.
Woodyard to the sideline, but Bailey is back in. And there you see Paris Lennon taking over the middle linebacker spot for Woodyard on this play. 1st and 20. has come into the game. Usually their third-team running back behind Niall Davis, who backs up Charles. And that's a 7-yard play. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, we had a chance to talk to Andy Reid and Alex Smith, Jim, and I think they both said Alex Smith, Andy Reid believes he understands these players now, more comfortable with them, and that's why he's being more aggressive with the football going down the field. And Andy Reid said, no doubt about it, in my play calling, I'm being more aggressive because you need big plays to win in the NFL.
2nd and 13. And the completion for a short gain goes to A.J. Jenkins, just his 3rd catch of the season. The former first-round pick a year ago of the 49ers. Tackled by Chris Harris Jr.
Now, the one thing you play Kansas City or Andy Reid's teams, even in Philadelphia, short passes a lot in certain situations to help the 3rd down completion a little easier, and you always have to be alert for screens no matter what the down and situation is.
Third and 7. As Smith cuts back past the open man. It's Bowe inside the 20, and Dwayne Bowe takes it to the 13.
They talked about it. We need to get Dwayne Bowe, number 82 in the slot, going up the field, and he fights through the coverage. And that's the one thing about Dwayne Bowe. He is one of those receivers that can win the contact contest. He can catch it with people around him, and if you try to cover him too tight, he'll shed you off. How about that arm over? Throws Chris Harris right to the ground.
That picks up 24. And from the 13, it's Charles. Shifts down close to the 10. An impressive start here by the Chiefs with this first possession.
Just don't forget, Denver turned it down, gave it to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's really the rule that most teams are taking now, Jim. Why? Especially when you have a really good quarterback. Try to get the ball at the end of the first half and start the second half with it.
Chance to double up. That's what they all love to do around the league, and that's what Jack Del Rio hopes for in his final game as the interim coach before John Fox returns tomorrow to the facility. 2nd and 8. And Smith down to the 2. He's got Fasano as tight end. And again, Bailey is shaken up on the collision. It's 1st and goal to go for the Chiefs.
You got to just drive it in there sometimes. The coverage is good on the outside. This is a big tight end, and Champ Bailey cannot fight through Anthony Fasano. We saw it last week. Alex Smith threw a touchdown to Dwayne Bowe in tight coverage. That play reminded me of it, just right to the body, nothing the defense can do. What a drive.
What a drive. Smith 6 for 6 on the drive. Bailey back out. 1st and goal. 6 linemen in. Asamoah joins them. They fake to Charles, rolling out. Smith back to the end zone. Intercepted by Woodyard in the end zone. He was hoping to hit Fasano, who had taken him down to the 2, but Smith's first half interception thrown of the season. The captain of that Denver defense, Woodyard, with his first interception of the season, 5th of his career. And the touchback, Denver's first snap from the 20. Play action, and Manning hits in stride. Demaryius Thomas for 13. What happened on the pick?
Well, let's look at it real quick. Familiar play in the flat, back of the end zone. Here he comes across. Nobody covers Anthony Fasano, top of your screen. But what a recovery. Alex Smith never saw Woodyard, and that's why the football was intercepted. I thought first down, he was going to run it, probably get it to the 1, but he chose to throw it.
And here is no Sean Moreno, who gets the start after being in a boot much of the week and on crutches after spraining an ankle, and that brilliant performance he had at New England. Peyton, 1 touchdown pass to tie his franchise record, set last year 37 in the season. And again, Moreno is in there. No Julius Thomas, inactive. That knee still not ready to go. 2nd down throw, and it's Welker slashing over to the Kansas City side of the field for a gain of 18.
Good protection, got the time. Peyton Manning is going to throw this across the middle of the field to Welker against Brandon Flowers. That extra time let Wes Welker separate. If they play a defense to protect against the pass, Peyton Manning's not always going to run it today. He's going to throw it also.
Here is Moreno. And he was contacted early. He picks up only a yard. The line includes Chris Clark, who's gone most of the season now with Plady injured earlier in the year, and he'll see a bunch of Tamba Hali today. And again, Moreno off his career performance, 224 on 37 rushes. Now, when they played 2 weeks ago, he had 27 rush attempts against the Chiefs. Fake to him here on 2nd and 9, and Barry coming in on Manning forces the incompletion. And Dex Payton, they never hit him once when they played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they were close quite a few times, and there's the guy that was close. Eric Berry playing inside like a linebacker, just so fast, there was no way for Zane Beadles to get there.
They're trying to figure out what could they do differently this time.
Well, what they
Manning to hit the ground at least a couple of times.
Eric Berry was closer to the line of scrimmage. That's why he got there.
3rd down and 9, and Peyton now guns it down the field, and it is intercepted. On his back with the interception is Quentin Demps. The pass was intended for Demaryius Thomas. So that's the Kansas City defense that we saw the first 9 weeks of the season. Matching interceptions here in the first quarter. Alex Smith had not thrown a first-half interception all season. He throws one right back. Peyton throws his first quarter interception of the season.
Tremendous play on that last possession. Quentin Nips, the safety, came all the way across the field. Peyton Manning did not see him. That's one of the reasons why he got the interception.
And on 1st and 10, it's Charles, and he's tripped up as he was trying to hop past his right tackle, Stevenson. Picks up 2, and again, it was just 2 weeks ago, oddly enough. This used to happen way more often back in the days when you were playing. You'd see a divisional opponent, maybe twice in a 3 week span.
Hated it.
And here's what happened. Costly fumble there by Sherman. Jammer recovering, and then on the next drive, Thomas scored on a 9-yard touchdown, and Monte Ball scored a couple of rushing touchdowns in a 27-17 victory.
Good play that last play. Mitch Unrein stopped probably a big 10-yard gain by beating Stevenson.
2nd and 8. And in stride is Charles. And very nearly had the ball stripped as Webster was in on him, but he holds on for 15.
Yeah, this defense, they got some speed. They'll try to do it. Watch it come out and come under. Look at that open hole. Nice play design. And I don't know if you've been there. Everybody's been complaining all year. I'm one of those guys too. Not exemplifying myself or exempting myself about this Chiefs offense. But the last 3 weeks, it has a different mentality, a different look. And even the Bronco coaches says, yes, they are letting it go.
And it's Charles on the short side with room and a 1st down. A nice block by Junior Hemingway, the wideout on that left side. That's a gain of 15 more. Back-to-back 15-yard plays by Charles. Fantasy football fans, you want a fresh start? Get involved with the Player Challenge, win some cash. All the rules are at cbssports.com/challenge.
Well, when you see Junior Hemingway, number 88, come in the game, you have to say, most likely going to be a run. And a lot of times, they run to his side because he is an excellent blocker for a wide receiver.
Hey, he's only caught 4 balls on the season.
Well, he knows his role and does it well.
Now Davis now in the backfield. They fake to him on 1st down. Smith now buying time and taking off, and he can do this. He's got another 1st down at the Denver 37. He's rushed for over 300 yards this season. This time it was McCluster who helped give him a key block.
Yeah, excellent job. This defense, we talked about it, stop the screens. Trevathan comes up and tackles Davis. But the one thing about Alex Smith, we've heard it from a couple defensive guys and coaches already, much faster than you think. And when you force him to run, he can get it done.
Yeah, he averages over 5 yards a rush. There you see it. That was good for 13.
Right there.
Up the middle to Davis, and he's got a big opening and drives into the secondary before Adams is able to wrestle him down.
Just a draw play, it's called lead. In other words, the fullback, Sherman, up in the front of the running back. Watch his block, and then a beautiful block. A beautiful cut by Davis that time.
That's Davis's longest carry of the season. It went for 20.
Really nice block, too, by Schwartz, the right guard. You said it, they're in there starting today, the right guard and right tackle, because of how well they played last week.
Already with 8 first downs, having no trouble moving the football. In the red zone, once again, backed up is Jamal Charles. Actually give him a yard. On that pass by Peyton, he was trying to hit Demaryius Thomas, and Thomas was shaken up. Saw a brief glimpse of him on the bench, and now they're reporting that it's a shoulder, and he's questionable to return.
That's a big deal.
That's big news.
Thomas, the tight end, Julius Thomas, out of today's game also.
2nd and 9. Smith wants to go for it. He's got a man, and he pulls it in, and it's Hemingway. We talked about how he's never involved in the passing game, and he has the touchdown for the Chiefs.
What a job by Alex Smith, standing in there and waiting for the play to happen. That's a pretty good catch, too. Reached up with his hands. The bunch route. He fakes it out, just goes around. He had Nacho. Did not expect him to go down the field. Usually that inside guy hooks up all the time, about 8 to 10 yards. Not that time. Good play call.
Only his 5th reception of the year, and it goes for a score. The 7th different Chief to catch a pass in this opening quarter, and Suckup's extra point is good. Well, Kansas City marching up and down the field. They got to the 2 the first time before being picked. This time they have 6. Well, December 1st day here. Hope you've had a wonderful holiday weekend for those important to you. So 7-0 here, Kansas City. And right you are, Phil. So much more innovative are the Chiefs offensively than what we saw the first half of the season.
Couple reasons why. They're getting better pass protection, too. Helps the play caller and the quarterback.
Trendon Holiday. Sherman rides him down. Alex Smith to the man they took in the 7th round a year ago out of Michigan. Hemingway with a touchdown for Kansas City. You see Andre Caldwell, number 12, split wide to the right as Demaryius Thomas is not out there, injuring a shoulder on that first series. Here's Peyton on first down. In traffic. That pass is knocked down by Kendrick Lewis. He was going for Joel Dreesen. This Kansas City defense stepping up so far after getting scorched the last couple of weeks. DeVito, who'd been out with a knee, gets the start. Sambo for Houston, who is inactive with the elbow injury, but Holly is up, even with the tender ankle. And Eric Berry. Very strong presence at strong safety. There was a holding call on that last snap against Denver.
Think about what's out of the lineup. Demaryius Thomas, Julius Thomas. That's a lot of speed that goes off the field for this Denver offense.
So the Chiefs take the penalty, and it's back at the 10-yard line, 1st and 20. And Manning with more pressure on him, able to get it away to Caldwell, and he's got a Chief defender, Derek Johnson, on him right away, holding it to a 4-yard gain.
When you talk to this Kansas City, to the team, the coaches, whatever, the crossing routes the last 2 weeks have just crushed this defense. Bob Sutton, of course, when you're a coordinator or coach and somebody makes a mental mistake, that makes you much more upset if they make a physical mistake. We'll see if they corrected it here today.
On 2nd and 16, set up a screen for Moreno. And he's got room. He's got a first down. Got blockers out in front. And all the way to midfield, Manny Ramirez and Zane Beadles running out there leading the way for 34.
You just can't get caught off guard if you're the defense against this type of thing, because probably the number one play for the Denver Broncos is all the screens to the running backs and wide receivers. Second and long, first and long, second and long, you got to expect a screen play.
Ball in the backfield. And he gets the handle. He had a couple of rush touchdowns in the first matchup against Kansas City. And he's got a gain of 5. And we have the Millers coming your way. TV's #1 new comedy Thursday after the Big Bang Theory, only CBS.
I think the Broncos want to get back to the offense they've had most of the year. That is attack. Be aggressive in the play calls.
Ball again. And Johnson in on the hit for only a yard. Peyton Manning, since coming to Denver a year ago, has not lost a division game. 9-0 inside the AFC West. 23 touchdowns and now 5 interceptions, with the one earlier today by Quentin Demps. Facing a 3rd and 4. Jacob Tamme wide to the right. The time. Ball. What a hit by Johnson. Flowers there too. The spot. Very close.
Derek Johnson's the free man inside. He's the rover or the rat, whatever you want to call him. That's why he was there to make the hit.
And they have moved the chains as the quarter ends. Kansas City 7-0. You're watching the NFL on CBS. And there is Jack Del Rio. 4th game as the interim coach. He was a linebacker here briefly for the Chiefs in the late 80s. Got married here in Kansas City, and actually, although he's always remembered as being a USC Trojan, he graduated from Kansas in the offseason when he was a member of the Chiefs. Here's 1st and 10 to start the second quarter. And Manning going for a Decker at the 5 and a touchdown. Eric Decker. 41 yards to open the quarter.
Well, they want to get back to being aggressive. That's the team they are. Watch the play action fake. Nobody deep in the middle of the field to help Flowers against Decker. That's not a blown assignment. That's just a great job by Decker beating Brandon Flowers. He waited to the last second to get that right arm to shield or push off and got enough separation. Perfect throw by Peyton Manning.
Well, remember they had 1st and 20 back at their own 11. The big screen play to Moreno. And then the 41-yard touchdown to Decker. That's 37 now on the year for Manning, tying his franchise mark of a year ago. And Decker falls in his 4th score of the season to tie it at 7. Eric Decker has just broken Brandon Marshall's Denver franchise record for most touchdown catches first 4 years as a Bronco. And Peyton, again, with 37 now on the season. Now Davis is the return man. He decides to bring it out from 7 back. It was a good decision. Cross the 30, and it's wide open. Can he outrace them all? He's got Carter after him, and he skips past him for the 107-yard kickoff return.
He's coming forward as he catches the football, and there's not much movement. It is the decision, determined, and the power and speed. That's why he gets by him. I thought he was going to lose his balance a little bit. But how about Davis? The speed, even though a couple guys had the angle, he still outran him to the end zone.
Just his 4th kick return of the season. For some reason, Dimps was not the deep man. Dimps, who had a big return game last week. Suckup with the extra point. It's officially 108 yards. It's the longest play in Chiefs history. A rookie from Arkansas, drafted in the 3rd round. Electrifying 108 yards against a Denver team that doesn't have to really cover that many kicks.
Right.
Because Prater, plus you factor in the rarefied air of Denver, had only had 20 kicks returned this year out of 80. And now back deep. It's not Holiday. He was shaken up earlier. It's Caldwell for the Broncos. And Caldwell is twisted down by Hemingway at the 21.
I think what really makes it work is just the determination and just no movement, just little weaves, and just runs through 2 tackles because he was not trying to slow down and pick his way.
Boy, outraced Bruton, and then Carter tried to get the angle, and he just blew by them all. And look at Alex Smith, ball in hand.
Yeah, Andy.
Demaryius Thomas is on the field, on the near side. In fact, as that ball was being run back for the touchdown, he was emerging from the locker room and onto the field. Moreno plows ahead for 3.
And I want to talk about this Denver offense a little here today. First off, Peyton Manning has a glove only on his right hand, and he said he was probably going to go with it. Those are fitted gloves because he threw with it during the week, and even in that cold weather in New England, he was really happy with the way it felt. So he figures he might have to use it for the rest of the year.
Likes to break them in for 2 or 3 days during practice. Save him for the game. 2nd and 7. Moreno again. And he somersaults for no gain. It's Derek Johnson is in on a lot of plays at the start of this game.
But I think the big thing is when you look at last week's game, yes, they ran the football. Absolutely. They ran it great against New England, but it took the rhythm away from the offense. It took it away from Peyton Manning, and the wide receivers did not get involved. So today, good effort, conscious effort to get some of these guys off to a quick start.
And I mentioned Derek Johnson. We met with him yesterday. He says you got to have a short-term memory in this league. After their loss to San Diego, felt good about their chances rebounding today. 3rd and 7. Ball lofted to the sideline and intercepted. Manning picked for a 2nd time, and this time it's Cooper. Marcus Cooper still on his feet, and finally meets 2 Broncos at the 21, including Orlando Franklin.
Well, they tried to pick on Cooper the last couple times, or the last couple games, and Denver did in Denver. They switch it. They're trying to go up the sideline. It's just not a good throw by Peyton Manning. The football hangs. It's way underthrown. And Marcus Cooper ready to protect deep down the field. Oh, not a nice job. Looks in the backfield, sees it, and the first one to react to the football.
Manning with 2 interceptions. Just 15, make it 17 minutes into this game, and Cooper, the rookie out of Rutgers, has his 3rd interception of the season. And the Chiefs take over at the 22 of Denver. Fake to Charles, looking down the middle. Now a 2nd option, McGrath, and it's over his head. He had Harris on him.
Trying to throw it down the middle that time to Anthony Fasano for the touchdown, but a really good no throw by Alex Smith. Pulls off of it and gives his tight end a chance, or the wide receiver on the other side of the field.
Fasano wide right. McCluster in the slot to the right, as well as Hemingway. 2nd and 10. Looking for Bo, then settles on Charles. And they get Hemingway. They announced McCluster here, but it's Hemingway, and he's got 9.
When in doubt, double 58. That's what they did. That's why Alex Smith had some extra time to throw the football. You can't do it every play, but when you get a chance, the most dangerous person on Denver's defense, without question, is Von Miller.
Hurry to the line. Got to Get about a foot for the first. Third down. They run it. Charles easily has the first. They push that line back. They dominated on that matchup and pick up 5.
Good play call that time. They had all the meat in the middle, the 3 big guys. So they kind of go off tackle, watch the pull, the kick out, and follow the big guy. That's what he does. That's why he gets the first down.
It'll be first and goal from the 8.
Some bad drawing by me on that last play.
Send you back to artistry school.
Well, it's a big game, so I'm getting off to a slow start.
Smith, end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Dwayne Bowe, but there is a flag. They went to Bowe a week ago in the red zone, and it worked. He out-wrestled a defender last week and this week.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 74 reported as an eligible receiver, but was covered by the wide receiver. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Take it off the board, Jeff Schwartz. They got him on what sounds like a technicality, but he had reported, but then had a receiver in a wrong formation with him.
74, here he is. So he's eligible on the line of scrimmage. On the line of scrimmage, that is illegal. So that is the wide receiver, the quarterback, wide receiver. That's who you got to go to. You can't blame him. I promise you, I think Jeff Schwartz lined up in the right spot.
First and goal at the 13. Charles. They had hold of him right away. Mitch Unrein, who started today for Kevin Vickerson, who had to go down on IR because of a hip injury. That was a big loss for them. And then on top of it, Derek Wolf, I mentioned it earlier, on the way to the airport on Friday, just seizure-like symptoms, and rushed to a Denver hospital, where I understand John Fox visited him earlier today.
He did. Glad to hear he's doing better. And the good thing, Denver does have a lot of depth at defensive line.
Second and goal from the 12. Smith, end zone bound, and what a catch! It's Fasano with the touchdown. Fasano stuck up that left hand, got a paw on it, and pulled it in for the score.
Left side goes right down the middle. Again, good protection, perfect trajectory on the throw. 4 weeks ago, you saw none of this. They did not make the tough catches, this Kansas City offense, but they're getting used to it, the practice, the throwing into games, and now they're making contested and some excellent catches when the chances come. The only way you can get better, Jim, is to try it in the game, and they've been throwing it in the game more, and the players are starting to get good at it.
Suckup makes it 21-7. 2 touchdowns off Denver giveaways, the Cooper interception, and Fasano with a touchdown for the 3rd straight game. We've had 28 points scored in the last 6 minutes and 44 seconds, 21 of them by the Chiefs. Suckup. Short kick to the 3 to Caldwell, who had not returned a kick before today since 2010 when he was a member.
Well, you know, Jim, think
of the
about
Bengals.
Sorry about that, but think about this Denver team. They played at home 2 weeks ago. Emotional game against this Kansas City Chiefs. Night game, they traveled to New England, goes into overtime, and now you got to find a way to get that energy for the 3rd straight week to compete against this crowd and a team that we could see that is really fired up.
The tackle on the kick was made by Junior Hemingway, who's had 2 tackles, plus the game's first touchdown on a pass from Alex Smith. Moreno behind Manning. Gets the carry. And he's got room to operate. He's got a gain of 13.
Well, that time it was a pass defense, everybody back, so Peyton Manning checks to the right play. That left left side, Zane Beadles and Manny Ramirez, the center, the double team. This whole offensive line, when they put two guys on one, they can drive them down the field, and the runner can pick up big yards.
Moreno again. And he is crumbled after a gain of 2. Tamba Hali along with Derek Johnson. Thursday on CBS Elementary. Discover a new episode Thursday at 10, 9 Central. Only CBS. Look at Moreno all taped up. Well, that's Manning, actually Manning with the ankle issues, of course, of his own as he comes over to Virgil Green. What a tackle that time by Dimps. But I want to get back to Moreno. This was something all week long they wondered on the Denver side. Would they have him? Because he had 37 carries, 224 against New England, left on crutches in a boot early week. And he's been really kind of the unsung hero for them this year.
Oh, he definitely has. From the start of the year, been determined. Peyton Manning says, I love the guy. His passion to play and knowing his job, he does both very well.
3rd and 6. Pass should have been caught. It was Thomas. Had his hands on it. But Peyton is seeing more pressure than he did 2 weeks ago by far.
Comes from the outside, but he has plenty of time to make this throw. It's the coverage down the field was very good. Sean Smith put it in position where Peyton Manning's got to throw a perfect pass to get this completion.
First punt of the game coming up by Britton Colquitt, whose brother Dustin punts for the Kansas City Chiefs. Britton here, the younger brother of the two by almost 3 years. Lofts one way up in the air. McCluster. Why does he field it at the 3?
See it every week.
Why do you do that? Immediately knocked down by Omar Bolden, who had it covered up. 54-yard punt. Chiefs are fortunate that this didn't lead to a fumble. Well, the Chiefs are backed up. You look at McCluster, and you said you see it every week.
Oh, it's an epidemic in the league. I don't know why. The rule, used the unwritten rule, 5-yard line, let it bounce. It's going to go in the end zone. That was inside the 5-yard line.
From the 3. Safe pass. Sherman incomplete. Incomplete. We've got an update. Let's send it back to New York to you, James Brown.
Phillip Rivers continuing his hot play.
Tied this ball game up. JB watched the play fake. 30-yard touchdown pass to Ladarius Green. Knotted up 7-7.
9:04 left in the first half. Back to Jim Nance. Phil Simms.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shannon. And he can run Ladarius Green kind of like Shannon Sharp used to. He had a 60-yard touchdown score in the game here last week. Second-year man out of Louisiana Lafayette. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. And tumbling ahead for 2 is Jamal Charles.
Well, the Chiefs, one thing they are doing now is catching the contested throws. How about that catch by Hemingway? This didn't count, but still reaches back, Dwayne Bowe, and gets it. And then the one-handed catch by Fasano. So what a difference. Play calling, the performance of this, the throwing and catching by the Chiefs. It's the difference we've seen in this team the last 3 weeks.
Kind of a big 3rd down here for this Denver defense. They're down 2 scores. Over to Fasano. Race for the first down yardage. And the spot is short by a yard.
It's a pretty big play, so if it looks like it's close, this is one of those situations where if you're Andy Reid, maybe you challenge. Foot's not out of bounds. And I wouldn't challenge. But Andy Reid's thinking about it.
And he grabs hold of it. with a Bronco defender injured, David Bruton. Reed may get another look at a replay or two. Andy Reid was looking at the big board, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he kept looking. He wanted a reason to challenge his call, but it has to be clear. And when you look at it, the evidence, you got to get to the 13. It's truly the 13. Puts in, crosses the 12. That football is out of bounds before the 13-yard line. And it's out about there, so it's short.
That's where Bruton got shaken up. And Reed was eyeing it, and he elects to go ahead and punt and not waste a challenge here. He's not going to win that one. Colquitt, Dustin Colquitt to Wes Welker. I mentioned Holiday was bruised up earlier in this game. Shoulder questionable. And of course, Welker had that mishap in overtime at New England. Backs up the field this one. And he is covered up right away. And again, it's Hemingway with his third special teams tackle. 58-yard beauty by Dustin Colquitt. Well, next Saturday is the SEC Championship on CBS. Missouri and Auburn. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, and our great team. What a job they did yesterday covering Auburn, Alabama. Also Utah State, Fresno State next Saturday night for the Mountain West Championship. Just an incredible, one of the all-time epic finishes. Yesterday they had it. Covered it beautifully. And here with the 1st and 10 is Manning. As Moreno is knocked back for a loss of 2.
They might put Eric Berry at linebacker the way he's playing so far today. Look at those possessions by the Denver Broncos.
That game last night was so good, you couldn't even watch any more college football. You said, it took all the fun out of the rest of the night.
I swear it did. I said, I've had it. That game just emotionally, everything about it was so spectacular. Nothing could follow it up, that was for sure.
But SEC title game next week, 2nd and 12. As Manning has Decker, who makes a little spin hook move to pick up the first before Cooper drops him, gain of 13.
Well, they've been wanting to get Eric Decker started again, and when you stack receivers, this is what can happen. You lose sight of who's behind you. That time Kendrick Lewis jumped the short route. Peyton Manning took Decker on the curve.
Finds Poe plugging that hole after a gain of 2.
Well, the difference in some teams when they play Denver, you don't have a guy like 92, Dontario Poe, to stop runs. Gets off the block, even though it's purely a pass defense, not enough guys up there to stop the run sometimes. But Poe, Derek Johnson, and Eric Berry cover up for the lack of people up there.
2nd and 8 inside 6 minutes first half. Man open, Decker. And again, Decker aware of where he needs to go for that first. He tried to get there, stopped about a foot short. Third and a foot. It's ball, first down, and the rookie from Wisconsin takes it to the Kansas City 45. Monte Ball, he's had issues holding on to the football after coughing it up only twice in his entire decorated career for the Badgers, where he scored 83 touchdowns, had a crucial fumble in the second half at New England last week.
Yeah, I think they're still mad about that play. Maybe not the fumble that they called it, the screenplay just wasn't aggressive enough.
They fake to him. Manning's got Decker again down the field at the 10 and down to the 2. We got a flag back at the 35.
Looked like a double move that time by Eric Decker.
Part of the pass, holding, defense number 35. Kills the climb, first down.
Called on Demps, the play stands, gain of 42.
Well, this is always what you have to look for when you're playing Peyton Manning, if you get too close on certain coverages, they're going to come up with a double move, and that time Decker just wanted the line of scrimmage. He was stronger than Cooper, got by him, and that little weave gave him more separation.
Decker with a 41-yard touchdown and a 42-yard reception that sets up first and goal at the 3. Manning is looking in Decker's direction again, no flag. Got tripped up with Cooper, Decker and Cooper.
Let's be an alert. It is tough to play defense. Nice fake inside. That's where you run a lot of short routes on the goal line, and Cooper gets away with the hold.
Now, Ball scored 2 touchdowns in situations like this against Kansas City 2 weeks ago. He's the running back.
They're going to check out. It looks like a blitz, so Peyton Manning was probably going to call a pick. Let's see if Kansas City changed the defense.
On second and goal. Looking, back to the end zone and just throws it away. Welker was in the back of the end zone.
That is some coverage. That is 3 one-on-ones. That is tough to do. They have so many different routes. Welker goes to the back, but what's the first 2? Defense stays with the call the whole time. Nobody got open.
Now it's Moreno at running back. Flanking Peyton on third and goal. Moreno is the target. He's got it, and he is across for the touchdown.
They just couldn't get out there to cover him. They're not fooled. Watch the coverage coming from the inside. Oh, they get hit. Nobody gets out there. They try to pass it off.
Sean Smith was the defender over on that side, but Moreno makes it to the end zone for the score, and Peyton now establishing a new Denver standard. Touchdown passes in a season. His 38th. Prater good on the extra point. All set up by the long throw down the field to Decker. It ends on third and goal with Manning to Moreno, and the Chiefs lead is trimmed to 7. Moreno now with 11 touchdowns on the year, 9 on the ground. That's his second catch for a score. And Peyton up to 182 yards in this first half. 2 touches, 2 picks. And it's Davis who ran the last one back from 108. And he's 8 deep this time. Nothing doing. He's dragged down by Jacob Tammy. By the way, during the national anthem, you talked about the intensity of Moreno, and Peyton talked to us about it. Mike Arnold, our director, Lance Barrow, producer, happened to catch this just as the anthem ended with Moreno on the Denver sideline.
First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs' 14-yard line.
Well, it's a big game, emotional. Big game by Moreno last week, and you're not sure if he's going to get a chance to play here today. And he showed his determination on that catch and scoring on that last drive by the Broncos.
Through the lens of Mike Agard, capturing that first and 10 as Charles meets Woodyard at the 19.
Jamal Charles on the carry.
Offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. They look aggressive. I know they're a little depleted on the defensive side for Denver, but Jamal Charles not pitter-patting with those feet, taking it hard up into that line of scrimmage and getting those extra yards. Big drive, I think, for this Kansas City offense right here. Find a way to get some first downs, and if nothing else, take away the opportunity for Peyton Manning to drive down and score again.
Each team fully loaded with timeouts, and now the first one's used by the Chiefs. The 2nd and 4 coming up out of the break. And Kansas City leading at 21-14. Again, we're back with the AFC West lead on the line. A pair of 9 and 2 teams. 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. Ball is on the ground. Fasano tried to dive on it. It was Charles who coughed it up. Phillips stripped it. Stays with Kansas City. And the big tight end was able to wrestle it away. Fasano.
3rd down and 5 from the Kansas City 19-yard line.
Oh, he hit his own guy. I was trying to see who stripped it out as he was falling. He hit the back leg.
Hey, Phillips in the area.
Stevenson, yes.
Yep.
That's what caused the fumble.
Sets up a 3rd and 5. Pressure on Smith. Rolls away from it. And now, still able to wiggle free, and he is tackled for no gain. Trevathan finally finishes it off.
A lot of speed on Denver's defense.
Von Miller on the ground.
They got 4 receivers to the right of Alex Smith. Nobody is open. Good job escaping trouble, but everybody on the defense keeps hustling, and they stop him short of the 1st down.
See what happens here to Von Miller. He might have gotten tangled with one of his own teammates as he ducks under Phillips, Smith. Yeah, there was a collision here. Terrence Knighton, his teammate, on him, and now Miller is able to jog off the field. A far quieter 1st half than the 1st half Miller had last week at New England.
Yeah, no question. Good job of pass blocking so far for this Kansas City offensive line, but that was excellent. That formation, those are so hard to cover when you're playing that man-to-man. Everybody bunched together, and Denver sorted it out and got it done.
And Kansas City is going to let this run all the way down to the 2-minute warning, but Denver will be getting the punt and have all 3 timeouts left. 2 straight 3-and-outs by the Chiefs. We're coming out of the 2-minute warning with Colquitt, Dustin Colquitt that would be, about to punt it to Welker. Stands back at his own 32. Chiefs had 11 1st downs the first couple of possessions, but a couple of straight 3-and-outs, and that one's off the side of the foot, picked up on the hop by Welker, who dives down at the 40, and this is precisely the situation that you drew up at the start of the game when Denver decided to defer, try to get the ball at the end of the 1st half and receive the 2nd half kickoff.
Well, you can understand why. You like your chances when you have Peyton Manning on the offensive side, but I think what we've seen here so far today, both offenses being very aggressive, looking for opportunities to throw the football down the field. You know, Peyton's not trying to really get into the perfect plays all the time. He's looking for ways to get double moves or a defense so he can throw it over the top.
Manning with 1st down, and it was almost a 2nd interception for Cooper. It was over his head too. The Verizon halftime report is coming up shortly with JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the scores and highlights. That Cincinnati-San Diego game going on right now. They'll update us on that and all the other action here on a very busy Week 13. 2nd and 10. Manning, that one didn't come out of the hand cleanly as he had Chiefs in the area when he released it.
Yeah, it definitely came out the side of his hand. I think what happened, he got his body going down the middle, expecting to throw the under route. But they do it so much. Yep, this doesn't come out clean. Maybe that's a good thing because the coverage was excellent.
Well, they have the all-time record when it comes to a stadium metered decibel reading of 137.5. That happened a few weeks back. Here's a 3rd and 10. And again, the pressure forces the incompletion. Pass intended for Welker. Just when you thought the Broncos might be ready to do something before the end of the half, they have their own 3 and out.
They just get a little bit of a push. And they look again. Manning off balance. Dontari Poe, great against the run. Can push the pocket too. Good athlete who's big and having an outstanding day so far.
Britton Colquitt now. The brothers out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and the University of Tennessee. This one comes up outside the 20, where McCluster makes the fair catch. 38-yard boot. And there are the guys back in the studio in New York, getting set to update you with all the scores and highlights.
A lot of good-looking suits there, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's a lot of money. Well, they probably get them free, though. You know, when you're a star, you get stuff for free.
Don't you see the wardrobe credits at the end of the day?
I don't read
Your name's not on there. Mine's not on there. But theirs, rightfully so.
Last 2 drives, 2 3 and outs. This is a gift for the Chiefs. They still have 2 timeouts.
With 1:28 and those 2 timeouts, we'll go shotgun.
It's a gift because they didn't expect to get it.
That's right. Von Miller is back out there after being shaken up. And there was pressure that forced the pick. It's Trevathan with the interception, and a flag is down. Von Miller was the one who was in on Smith.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's why it was intercepted. The inside receiver trying to break out. Chris Harris always has to play the slot guy. Tough position to play. 25, here it is. Dwayne Bowe is going to break out.
And how about Miller after just a few minutes ago? Slow to get up. And he was close to getting to Smith. But the penalty brings it out to the 27 and a first down. Smith's got all kinds of room. Got the first down. Across the 40 to 50. And sidesteps out of bounds at the 47 of Denver. That's good for 26.
You know your protection is good when you look down the field and nobody's open. And he backtracks a little. I love this. Back up a little. Now he sees the running lane. And Danny Trevathan, fast linebacker, trust me, not able to track him down.
And that's the longest play of the game for the Chiefs from scrimmage. 26 yards. Smith sets them up at the Denver 47, steps out of bounds, so the clock stopped at 1:12, and again 2 timeouts. Fake to Charles. And now a throwaway. Trevathan was the one who helped force the throw away by Smith, and now a flag comes out. They're going to get him for
why?
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding, offense number 11. Didn't get out of the pocket.
Do you think he was out of the pocket?
Receiver in the vicinity.
Well, I thought he was. It's a little bit of a bootleg. Here's the pocket line. The right side, the right tackle. And he's definitely outside of it.
Yeah, he's out of the box. He's out of the inside the hash marks, but it was close. Close and backed up to the 43 and a loss of down.
So if you're Terry McCauley, you're back there. You can tell he's behind the center, not a lot of movement. That's why he calls it.
Second and 20. Pick up the blitz. Got an open man, the fullback Sherman. And tripped up in the open field by Harris.
It's pass protection now. I know that Von Miller hit him on the first play, but overall it's outstanding. They're blitzing. They're trying some different blitzes, and they are picking them up and giving Alex Smith time.
And now the Chiefs call timeout at 45 seconds.
Just watch it. Who comes on the blitz? Here we go. Trying to cross it up. I missed a drawing, but he had extra time to find Sherman out in the flat.
Chiefs down to 1 timeout. 3rd and 12 coming up. They had about another 20 seconds on the play clock. The thing you got to be careful of here is if you throw an incompletion, you got Denver getting the football back on a punt and still with 3 timeouts to go.
Yeah, but they're going to be backed up and not a lot of time left. I wouldn't be.
You never know. Touchback,
yeah,
you know.
No, I understand.
Get Peyton, say 30 seconds and 3 timeouts from his own 20.
History tells us always be careful in those kind of statements, but 3rd and 12 here, you try to pick this first down up. And if it's incomplete, don't worry about the clock.
Diving catch, McCluster. And he got to his feet because he had not been touched, but then quickly put back down by Bailey. 2-yard gain, and there's a timeout called by Denver. Denver with 35 seconds.
Well, it ate up a little of that time, Jim, and also it made the Denver Broncos use 1 timeout to make it a little tougher on Peyton Manning if they do want to try and be aggressive and get in position for a field goal. The one thing, this Denver Broncos defense now, these last 3 series, got a pretty good view up here, right at the 50-yard line. They are not getting open down the field. The defensive backs have played very well since those first couple drives where they couldn't cover them.
So Dustin Colquitt will try to be careful here because at Denver in the matchup, he had 3 punts that ended up going into the end zone for touchbacks. And that's not what they want here with 35 seconds. Set up time for Peyton with 2 timeouts to do something. Good hang time. Bounces at the 11.
It's a really good kick, but don't touch it. Let it hit the ground and roll around. Just
take more time.
Always know the situation. I know it's being a little petty, but again, this is not a normal offense we're looking at when you see the Denver Broncos.
So the ball will be at the 12-yard line with 25 seconds. Two backs, 3 wides. Running play with Ball.
That's what you expect them. Draw a screen. They hope to get a big gain. Doesn't happen. You get the football to start the second half. So don't even risk it and take a chance.
Exciting first half here. That included a couple of Manning touchdown passes. 108-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Niall Davis of the Chiefs. The Chiefs lead it by 7. Halftime at Arrowhead with the score Kansas City 21 and Denver 14. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. There's your score. Chiefs lead it 21-14. Alex Smith with a couple of touchdown passes, one to Fasano, one to Hemingway. In a very exciting first half here. Sights and sounds at Arrowhead. Football like you've never heard it, presented to you by Sonus. So Suckup will put it on a tee and send it down the way to Andre Caldwell. Again, Holiday returned a kick in that first quarter and bruised the shoulder. We have not seen him again. We were told questionable, so remains out. No return opportunity here for Caldwell. And let's get to the third quarter now. Peyton and the Broncos coming out. What are you looking for here?
Well, I think I'm looking for which defense can find a way to really pressure the other team's quarterback. All these big Von Miller, Tom Bahali, we didn't know if he was going to play. He's been in the lineup all day, but neither one really getting to the quarterback and causing havoc where they can make a mistake throwing the football down the field.
Demarius Thomas sent wide to the left. He had an early catch, missed some time with a shoulder injury, and then returned. But he has come up every week, it seems, with big second half performances. It's Moreno caught a touchdown, dropped for a loss of 1. It was Poe who hit him first. Here's your first half summary. Manning 182, a couple of touchdowns. Smith 132, and a couple of scores.
Some really good plays down the field by both quarterbacks, and I think they'll, here in the second half, they're going to look for ways to get those big plays. Explosive passes down the field. That's how you win big games, and I would consider this a really big game.
Second and 11, and that's incomplete. Looking for Thomas on the ground.
You know, we heard that from both teams coming into this game today. Alex Smith said it to us. Andy Reid gave me a lecture on it about, hey, you got to get it down the field and make these big passes. That's what this league is about, like playoff football. And we heard the Broncos say the same thing to us.
Third and 11. Blitzing. Gets it away, and a diving catch by Welker. Well, they picked up the blitz, didn't they? Gains 20.
They sure did. What a job by Noshawn Moreno. And a nice throw by Peyton Manning. Just so good at sidestepping and keeping his eyes down the field. Knew what he had, and Wes Welker just outruns the coverage.
At secondary for the Chiefs starting out this half with Hussein Abdullah instead of Kendrick Lewis at free safety. That pass puts Manning over 200 yards for the game. And he goes with ball. Straight ahead for 12. Got a block by Virgil Green to put it on the Kansas City side of the field.
Yeah, number 85, Virgil Green. He had a terrific job last week to the right there, blocking against New England. Set free a lot of runners.
Manning tosses a towel to the side and ready to take the snap from the Kansas City 48. Running play again with Ball. Nice couple of cuts, and he's got 8 more. Monte Ball, who has a big contingent here supporting him. He's from St. Louis, and a lot of the families made the way over here to watch him play, the rookie.
Denver fortunate, 2 good running backs and 2 running backs that are able to protect Peyton Manning when they need to.
Second and 2. Ball again. And that one spin move is what he needed to do to pick up the first down.
Well, Derek Johnson up in there making the hit. We talked about Derek Johnson since they play so much pass defense against this Broncos offense. What are you going to do when it comes to the run game? Because you got to gamble sometimes, and that's what he can do. He can diagnose plays, he can gamble or calculate a gamble and still make hits in the backfield.
He looked at you yesterday and said, we came out of that Denver game 2 weeks ago, and we believe we can beat them. First and 10. The fake, the time, And the pass down the field to Decker, and he has it again for the touchdown.
Touchdown Denver.
The third time he gets behind the Kansas City secondary. Twice for touchdowns.
Beautiful throw down the field by Peyton Manning. You talked about it. Backup safety in there. Abdullah over on this side watching. Never sees the deep crosser. There's nobody in front of him. That's the only person that can hurt this defense on the pass. And how about Eric Decker? Said they wanted to get him going. I'd say he's gotten going today.
Well, if you consider 5 catches, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
It's a pretty good day.
Yep.
Right. Standards are high.
And he set up a third touchdown with that 42-yarder. So, they come right down the field, out of the locker room to tie it at 21. How about Decker? Consider this, 37-yard touchdown a moment ago, a 41-yard touchdown in the first quarter, a 42-yard catch that set him up at the 3 that led to the touchdown throw to Moreno. Beating them deep, time and time again. And Prater earns the touchback. What happened on this one, Phil?
Oh, well, a lot happens. First off, they're going to block. They're going to get Peyton extra time to throw it. Here's Abdullah, but it's the stack release. And as you see it, it lets Eric Decker get going full speed, goes inside. Now look at the safety. Thinks he's going to go across the field. Instead, he goes deep. That's a changeup. In the NFL, everybody from the other side, they usually go across. He went behind, and it caught the defense off guard.
Of course, we had just mentioned the play before that the starting free safety, Lewis, was out, and Abdullah was in for him. Lewis with a knee, we're told questionable to return. Handoff, Charles. And flags coming out on the sideline with that.
That was 2 personal fouls. Horse collar and tackling out of bounds. Of course, you only get 1.
It was Adams who rode him out of bounds after he picked up 15 on his own. You got to think 15
After
more on the way.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 20, late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That'll take the football to midfield.
And that'll get the crowd fired up, and of course, gets this offense rolling. Out of bounds, pulls him down. Oh, yes, absolute easy call.
That's a good 5 yards.
Yeah,
out of the field of play.
And it gets dangerous. It really does. It gets dangerous for Jamal Charles. It gets dangerous for all the people on the sideline. Hard to get out of the way.
Charles again. An early stumble that was caused by Miller in the area, and only 2.
Go back, Jim, just to talk about that touchdown. Peyton Manning has had some touch and accuracy down the field today. There's 3 or 4 magnificent throws hitting the guys right in stride to get big gains or touchdowns. What a day throwing the ball deep down the field.
2nd and 9. Out of the backfield, Avery's first catch. Shoved back by Harris. Avery, who had 4 grabs for 91 yards and a score against the Chargers. And that's the first time we've called his name. First time he's been targeted.
Yeah, that play was designed to go the other way. And when you get these formations, especially when you see Dwayne Bowe, number 82, close to the offensive lineman, that tells me one thing. They want to throw it to him. Got a free release. Dwayne Bowe is the guy in the passing game. They design a lot of plays for him. Denver knows that. And when it's tight, he's been coming through with the big catches.
3rd and 8. Smith somehow got free. Going to come up a couple yards short. And Brandon Albert's really upset, the left tackle, about that flag. Broncos say they have it. Fasano's in there trying to recover another one. officials say fourth down.
He did go head first, so that makes the play live.
The flag is going against Albert. Holding. Now, if you're Denver, you decline it.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
They'll take it and drop him back.
That's right.
To about the 41.
You don't decline it.
The ball was coming out and starting to work its way. He still maybe had possession.
Still had possession, no, probably as he went to the ground. It's a close. But they take the penalty, Jim, to go that real quick because you got to think that they might have gone for it here on 4th and short. And I agree with Jack Del Rio. You take that penalty.
Would have been 4th and maybe a short 2.
Third down and 18 from the Chiefs 42-yard line.
That's the difference. Alex Smith, I think his legs are going to be a big part of this second half. You can't count on these receivers getting it done in obvious passing situations. Maybe he can do it with his runs.
3rd and 18. Ball is caught but short of the first, and we're back to that 4th and 2. 16 yards to Avery.
Yeah, no hesitation by Andy Reid. This is a long 2. If he throws this up the field, he's going to get it. But he brings him back a little safe with the throw and makes the decision easy for Andy Reid.
With the feet down?
Yes.
Well done.
It's a nice route by Avery.
Welker. Waiting at the 10 for Dustin Colquitt.
Yep, if you backpedal, don't catch it.
And how Bronco fans wish there had been a simple fair catch just a week ago.
Well, that win can make a difference.
Oh, you're not kidding. 34 yards, down near the 10. Founded here in KC in 1910, Hallmark. Largest manufacturer of greeting cards in the United States. And there's Lewis with the knee injury in this game, but back on the field after the Chiefs got beat deep on the last Denver possession. And it's Moreno struggling to get back near the line of scrimmage.
Overall, this Kansas City defensive line doing an outstanding job against the run. That time, Alan Bailey and Tamba Hali stopping for no gain.
Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator. Second and 11. Bateman, another long ball. It's Thomas in stride. And Demarius Thomas cuts back middle. Able to get away from Cooper for a second. Now is wrestled down at the 15. He beats Cooper like he did 2 weeks ago.
He gave the signal outside. I thought for sure Kendrick Lewis would back up and help, but it's the release once again. What shake at the line of scrimmage. That's hard. Now the Chiefs said, we're going to give Cooper some help over the top. I haven't seen it today. That's a tough assignment. No safety there to help him.
77 yards puts Manning over 4,000 for the season. For the 13th time, by far the all-time record. Moreno for no gain. So Demarius had caught a pass on the first play of the game, first play for Denver, then had the injured shoulder, had not caught another ball until that one goes for 77.
Well, what do? Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator, said we're going back to attacking. We're looking down the field. My gosh, if they've done that. But there's so many weapons. Decker's hot, so you're worried about him. Then Demarius Thomas goes deep on you.
Manning with 13 4,000-yard seasons. Breeze has 7, the second most, on his way to an 8th. Caldwell to the right on 2nd and 10, but looking left and thrown in the direction of Decker. Covered up well this time by Sean Smith.
You know, what was interesting about that long pass, you saw Peyton Manning make a signal to Demarius Thomas. Now, of course, they change him up every week. I don't know what it was, but it would have been high alert that he's going to 88.
And he might be going to him again as he comes back out onto the field after catching his breath. And he lines up to the far side.
I think Peyton said, hey, I'm coming to you. Run deep one more time.
Going to the other side to Decker for number 3 on the day for Decker. And a flag comes down near the line of scrimmage. Cooper, who got beaten by Demarius on the 77-yarder, got beat by Decker on the touchdown.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 91, blow to the head. The touchdown counts. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Called on Tamba Ali.
Let's watch Peyton Manning. Looks right down the middle of the field. He knew all along where he was going with the football, because the inside receiver, Jacob Tamme, occupies the safety. Throw it over the top, and Cooper can't make the coverage.
Eric Decker had 3 touchdowns on the season before today. He's got 3 here in a little more than 2.5 quarters. And Peyton Manning has reached 40 touchdown throws on the season. 21 unanswered by the Broncos. Eric Decker.
Dude, he's getting tired. This has been in Denver. They take him out, get some oxygen and all that running, but what an attack today. You're right, Jim. 50-yard line, you kick it out of the end zone, you try to get him inside.
Now they're just going to go ahead and be satisfied setting him up at the 20. Again, the penalty against Ali assessed there on the kickoff. Nance and Phil Simms, happy to spend the late afternoon with you on the opening day of December. Denver has its first lead of the game. And here come the Chiefs on first down. Little toss to McGrath. The backup tight end has a first down and a gain of 11.
Well, Jim, let's watch how they set up the touchdown. First off, Peyton Manning, he's going to lean back. Look at me, and then signal pointing to the ground. Who knows what it means? Dig for gold, go deep. But they got a defense that's on that Peyton Manning didn't look it off. He looked at Demarius the whole way. And Demarius Thomas, what a shake at the line of scrimmage to get it done.
Yeah, Manning with 4 completions in this quarter for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. First down for the Chiefs. Play action as Smith looks down for Jenkins and knocks over the shoulder, catched and dropped. Incomplete. A.J. Jenkins.
I like what they are trying to do in this game. They did it against Denver 2 weeks ago. Get the quarterback kind of moving one way, opposite of where the throw was going to go. He moved right, he throws left, a little double move by Jenkins, and should have caught it.
Yeah, the pass was perfect. A pair of former 49ers trying to hook up on that one, and Harris got a hand in there. And then help knock it loose. Second and 10. Charles. He got cut early by Robert Ayers, and that gains only 2.
Tim, let's go back and look at the touchdown. Here's Eric Decker. All Peyton Manning is going to do is read the safety. So he's watching the whole way. So when the safety sits still, he knows he's going right over the top, and another perfect throw. So 2 well-designed plays gets him that touchdown.
Third and 8. Lofting it over the middle and juggled incomplete. Fasano. Smith took something off that pass and was pretty accurate with it.
Beautiful. Nice touch, anticipation. And Anthony Fasano, his head hit the ground and he shook it up. He's definitely a little wobbly coming off the field.
Get some assistance to the sideline. And now Kansas City punting for a 5th consecutive series. Dustin's punt is a good one. Tucked it back at the 11. There's a flag in there as Hemingway makes another play on special teams. And Caldwell's going to get flagged here. It's going to end up setting up the Broncos inside the 10. 55-yard punt.
During the kick, it looked at the block in the back. Receiving team number 31. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
Actually called on Omar Bolden, but Hemingway made the tackle anyway. Denver and Kansas City with 5 to go in the 3rd. The penalty places the football at the 5 to start this drive. Ball gives him room and more. And look at him gallop past the 30. 40, and out to the 45-yard run by Ball. The longest for the rookie this season.
Tackled by Marcus Cooper.
Well, those long passes made this defense back up and look inside. Virgil Green gets a good block on Dontari Poe, and Derek Johnson cannot dive and make the tackle.
Didn't take long to get out of that jam. One play, 45 yards. They are shredding this Kansas City defense in this half, but not this time, as Derek Johnson is on them quickly for a loss of 3. And again, if you're just joining us, each team coming in at 9-2, both coming off wrenching losses a week ago. But if Denver goes on to win this game, it would have not only the 1-game lead, but technically 2 up with a season sweep over the Chiefs. In effect, a 2-game lead with 4 to play. And would have pole position on the 1 seed for the moment in the conference. 2nd and 13. Dump it off to Welker. And he's met for no gain. Coming up quickly on him was Dimps. Finishing him off was Barry.
He was tackled by Eric Berry. No gain on the play. From the 47-yard line.
Well, what you have to do, I think, if you're Kansas City's defense, you must double cover the outside receivers and make the linebacker and Brandon Flowers cover the 2 inside guys.
3rd and 13. That's Thomas for the first down. He needed 13. He got 15.
Well, they take advantage of it. Sean Smith has help over the top, but he lets the receiver get inside of him. The protection's good enough. That wasn't like one of these little short, get rid of the football quick routes. That is a great route to just the speed and the size of Demaryius Thomas. He has definitely turned into one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
We talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He had so much to say about learning from Peyton and from Welker about how to be a better football player. He's over 100, joining Decker. 1st and 10, and down to Decker they go, and that's going to draw a flag on Cooper, who's having a rough half.
Pass interference. Defense number 31. Automatic first down.
Got beat long by Demaryius, got beat by Decker on that touchdown in this quarter. The second one, and then here.
Yeah, they're going to call it because he's not looking for the football. Maybe it's that straight arm. Well, that's it. You impede the progress, Jim, when you stick your arm out there and put it into the chest. So that's a good call.
19-yard penalty. Returns Denver to the red zone. defense in the backs behind Moreno because of fumble issues. Ball and Hillman, who really hasn't seen action since the Indianapolis game in a crucial fumble, but with Moreno not 100%. Even though he's seen action and caught a touchdown, it's Ball's biggest performance of the season. I'll give you, he had 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs the first time out, but this time it's 10 carries, 87 yards, his biggest production. 74 yards coming in this quarter. Stays in there on 2nd and 2. Earns another handle. And that's Frank Zombo. Holds him to 1.
So hard to stop this offense, the Denver Broncos, inside the 20 because they have so many plays. We've seen them, all the tricks, the throws, the double moves, and then what happens, you're trying to double wide receivers, and there's nobody there to stop the runs. That's why they're a tremendous running team inside the 10.
Saw a glimpse of Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator. Thomas at the bottom of the screen with Cooper on him. 3rd and 1. That'll pick up the first. Demps bumps Tammy out of bounds.
Well, they got this offense rolling, there's no doubt. This is what they want to be. This team matches each other, Jim. In other words, their defense is aggressive, the Denver Broncos. They play a lot of man-to-man. They take chances, and that matches this offense, which it is at its best when they're just going after it. Quit worrying about the perfect play sometimes, running the football because they're making us run it. Be aggressive and throw it when you want to.
1st and goal. Peyton in trouble. Able to dump it off to Moreno. Makes the catch and picks up 4. Kendrick Lewis almost got the Chiefs' first sack.
Well, Moreno is upset because he let the blitzer, that was his guy, but he makes up for it with the catch.
Through 3, 28-21 Denver. And you're watching the NFL on CBS. Well, last week, Denver got outscored in the 3rd quarter, 21-0. But today, they outscored Kansas City 14-zip. It was at one time 21-7 Chiefs. There's the 3rd quarter numbers, 244 yards in the quarter by the Broncos. The most touchdown passes by a Kansas City opponent ever at Arrowhead. 5. Peyton Manning. He's got 4 right now. And 2nd and goal to start the 4th. Timeout called by Peyton. And that was back on Halloween Day 2004 when Peyton had the 5-touchdown game here. You might remember this one. It was a shootout. 45-35. The Chiefs actually won it. It's the only time Peyton's lost here. He's got a 4-1 record at Arrowhead. The only time he lost, he threw 5 scores. Timeout by Broncos. Moreno up ahead, chugs along about a foot short. Mark it outside the 1.
Yeah, they got him caught. You know, that time they're doubling receivers. Who's going to be there to stop the run? Not enough guys. Good job recovering by the Kansas City defense to keep Moreno short of the goal line.
Actually just inside the 1. Moreno stays in on 3rd and goal. To Decker. Who else? And he's got another one. Touchdown, Denver. Number 4 on the day for Decker. And it was Cooper who was trying to defend once again. The rookie from Rutgers is having a tough afternoon.
Yeah, he is. This is truly just a beautiful throw outside. Eric Decker does a good job positioning himself between Cooper in the sidelines, and Peyton Manning puts it right on the money.
And the extra point makes it 35-21. That's a franchise record. A record that was shared by Shannon Sharp and Demaryius Thomas. Remember, we talked about that down in San Diego. Eric Decker with 4 touchdowns today. A drive that started back at the 5. Began with a 45-yard run by Ball. Ended with another Decker touchdown. Cooper, who tried to make the 49ers roster and got waived and then picked up by the Chiefs. Had an early interception in this game, but he's paid for it ever since. And if you had Decker on your fantasy team, I hope you started him. We've been hearing by the Broncos for a while now. We want to get him going.
Yeah.
That's what they've been saying.
Well, they finally found a way to do it. It's really just a scheme a lot, and they're using those 3 releases. When Eric Decker gets down the field, he is a big wide receiver, and this was a well-designed change-up play over the top. Same play that we saw in the first touchdown. And then perfect throw by Peyton, and good body position by Decker gets him the 4th.
28 unanswered by Denver. Over the ball into his hands. This Thanksgiving weekend, whether you're a parent, teacher, student, or fan, there's a fun and easy way for you to hop on the NFL Play 60 bus. Get on board and join the movement that has helped millions of children get active and healthy. Visit NFLrush.com/Play60.
Well, we talked about in the first half, I bragged about the Kansas City Chiefs making those tough catches, and we've seen that was a drop. The last drive we saw 2 big drops down the field. You could almost look at it and say that's the difference. Those drops, they might have driven down the field and scored and tied this game up.
They've been forced to punt their last 5 series. 2nd and 10. Got a flag down. It looks like another one going against Albert. And Albert was injured on the play. Starting left tackle.
Holding, offense number 79. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
We call the penalty on Donald Stevenson. But Brandon Albert needs some attention from the medical crew. We'll be right back. And the card is coming out for Brandon Albert, the Chiefs' left tackle, 6th year from Virginia, who they drafted in the 1st round back in 2008. We've been working on his left leg. And Andy Reid has come out. Trying to hold off on Miller.
Oh. I think it was actually on that spin. It looked like he hyperextended his leg, Jim, as he twirled around there at the end.
His replacement will be Eric Fisher. Here's another angle on Albert as he's spinning away. Oh,
there it was.
Goodness. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fisher was the first pick in the draft last spring out of Central Michigan. He's been nursing a shoulder injury. Alas, he did not start. 2nd and 20. And it's a 3-yard play for Charles. Well, things were operating with such precision early in this game for the Kansas City offense. What's happened since?
Well, that's right. Well, this skill group for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not one of the best in the NFL. So the Denver Broncos defensive backs have really done a good job shutting them down. But Jim, it comes down to this: when you play this offense of the Broncos, you have to be perfect. So they drop some passes, an interception in the end zone, tough to keep up.
3rd and a long 17. This pass, got it there, and it's a yard short to Hemingway.
It's just short. You have to. This is one you got to sit there at Andy Reid, and you might have to think about going for this.
It's going to be 4th and less than 1.
I think I would go for it. And I'm a conservative coach, and he is going to go for it.
Hey, look, it doesn't matter where you put Manning on the field. He just went 95 yards in a couple of plays.
Field position, you got to look at it. 12:44. If Peyton Manning had one more good drive, the game would be over. Andy Reid knows it. I definitely agree with this call. Big game, you got to take some chances and go.
From the gun, 4th and a foot. Charles will move the chains with that run for 2. Oh, hold on. The Broncos say he fumbled it. Unrein has the football. Kansas City staying out there in huddle, operating without any concern about the fumble, and it will in fact stay with Kansas City.
Goes across the formation, good initial surge. Cannot see the football.
Not in that pile.
Jack Del Rio challenged. It's a good challenge by him,
Yeah,
too.
it is. I mean, if you win the challenge, you pretty much.
Denver is challenged, but the runner fumbled prior to being down by contact. Timeout.
Well, you take over near the 30, a chance to go ahead and close it out. We'll see if there's a fumble on the play.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Kansas City. Denver is charged with their 2nd team timeout.
Unrein was able to wrestle the ball away from Charles, and it's just very difficult to establish when he was down. Unrein coming in 96.
He had his arms around it, but it's a good challenge by Jack Del Rio. Jim, like you said, he had a chance here to challenge. If they see something they like in the replays, they could end the game.
That's right.
Kill.
But Charles able to pick up 2 yards on a 4th and 1 play. So when you set a bounce and Smith going for the long ball. Coming back for it. Oh, Avery couldn't hold on. Got to make that catch.
Yeah, you do. This is what defensive backs hate. The underthrown football or the back shoulder throw. And yes, you have to come up with that catch. That's 4 drops now by the Kansas City receivers in the last couple drives. Well, he tried to secure it, got down there. It looked like it might have hit his knee a little bit. That's what caused it to jump up. Well, look, there's still plenty of time. 2 scores. The opportunities, they're getting them again, throwing it down the field.
2nd and 10. And Charles with a blocker in front. Got the first down. And is tackled at the 46. We got flags out. Big Eric Fisher had come in, was one of the lead blockers. It was a 15-yard run, but very likely coming back.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 25. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
So 15 on the run, 5 more on the penalty.
Look at the block by 72. Eric Fisher, what an athlete. You talked about him, first pick of the draft. and he just runs over Quentin Jammer. Nothing he could do except get to the ground. There's 25. Chris Harris got his hands to the face.
Yeah, in the face of Hemingway.
Hemingway, yes.
Smith on first down. Open Denver 49. Back to Avery. And again he can't hold on.
Smith's pass intended for Avery.
That wasn't a sure catch, but it was a tremendous throw, and you got to make great catches in the NFL now. You got to turn. He turns his hands underneath. I think that made it harder. If he'd have turned his left hand on top, I think he could have pulled this football in, but just out of his reach.
Smith has had 9 incompletions today, and how many of those have been drops? At least 5. Second and 10. In trouble. Darts ahead to get 7. I might add that Jamal Charles on that 4th down carry for the first got his 1,000-yard season. Went over 1,000 on the year.
You know, he went head first, so that's not a give up. When he hit the ground and slid for another yard or 2, that's where the ball should have been marked.
Ball is marked, though, at the 43.
Of course, this is 4-down territory once again, provided you don't lose big yards on a sack.
Boss, Charles, open, first down, wrapped up by Bruton. But they were explosive off the line that time. Gain of 8.
Nice play by Andy Reid. Jim, you talked about it. More creative. Fakes the sweep one way, pits it to Jamal Charles outside, and Donald Stevenson now playing left tackle. Good job leading the way. That's what you need in this league. You got to take advantage of situations, be deceptive, and that was definitely a deceptive play for the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
He's the first Chief, is Charles, to have 4 1,000-yard seasons. Priest Holmes had 3.
Get set. Hard 80.
First down. And it's Harris swatting it away from McCluster.
This pass intended for Dexter McCluster.
Well, this week, don't miss Inside the NFL with James Brown and Chris Collinsworth and our man Phil Simms. Be back in the studio. Tear it all apart. Look ahead. Wednesday at 9. Showtime.
What'd you say? I wasn't on there last week. You said what? One of the best shows you've ever seen?
I wouldn't say that.
No, not you.
I'll be watching Wednesday.
Okay.
Set a new standard.
Look who's in the backfield. Hemingway.
Second and 10. Davis catches it. A little off balance. Is able to go out of bounds after a gain of 5.
1 yard. Gain of 5 yards on the play.
Again, you're calling plays. If you're Andy Reid, you talk to Alex Smith and you tell him the situation. 3rd down and 5 here. Hey, 4-down territory. So, again, don't take the sack. Give up on a play if it's not there so we can try it forward on 4th down.
Where we at, Ryan?
3rd and 5. And again, it's a screen to Davis. That was a good block by Rodney Hudson, the center. Hudson really doing the job there, and Hemingway helping out. First down, Kansas City.
How about that? The center gets all the way down the line of scrimmage to block the person who is in coverage. It's a play Sean Payton likes to run inside the 10 all the time down in New Orleans. Get this look from the top. Boy, Davis earning himself some extra carries just by how hard and how big he is running hard.
We got another injured player, and it's Vaughn Miller trying to stretch out now his left leg. Number
58, Eric Fisher's been doing a good job against him. since he's come in the game at right tackle. Could be just fatigue. Now, there's no doubt when you look at Von Miller, he is at least 10 to 15 pounds heavier than he was last year. And sometimes when you get bigger, get more muscle, puts more stress on those hamstrings and legs. I wouldn't know what that's about, but
he keeps trying to stretch out the hamstring.
Yes. That's what he said, though. We talked about it. I said, boy, you look. He said when he was suspended, that time off, he really worked on just getting stronger and conditioning himself so he could be, when he needs to, an overpowering pass rusher. We saw it when he first came back. I haven't seen that power move here today. But this is a gutsy drive by the Kansas City Chiefs. Overcoming some drop passes, going for it on fourth down.
It hasn't exactly been swiftly down the field, almost 6 minutes, but again, it'll get done. 8.5 is plenty of time to go.
Got all your timeouts, the 2-minute warning.
We got a first down at the 17. Another screen. It's Charles this time. And he's fighting for a first down and gets it. At about the 6, a gain of 11.
Well, that time, it depends on the defensive front, but it's the right guard, Jeff Schwartz, that's going to get outside, releases, good timing. And he just pushes Woodyard backwards. Good job by the Broncos defense rallying and stopping the touchdown. Pretty good screen team. We said that earlier, and of course Denver knows it. Andy Reid, his whole career, all those years in Philadelphia, threw a lot of them, and they're starting to get the hang of it here in Kansas City, becoming very good at throwing screens.
They hit 3 screens on this drive. First and goal. And batted down, incomplete, as Chris Harris came bursting through and got a hand on it.
Good job, blitz, picked up. You're not going to get there, even defensive backs jump.
This is the 15th play of this drive. Second and goal. McCluster end around, shakes off. Ayers still on his feet, slides for only a 1-yard gain. Robert Ayers had him for about a 6-yard loss.
Well, they've been faking that end around and not handing it off, and that time they do. You said it, Ayers, and Terrence Knighton, big defensive lineman, gets out there, almost gets him also. I don't think I have to say it, but I will. This is definitely 4-down territory.
Yep, got to have a touchdown on this drive. A drive that's lasted almost a half a quarter's worth of time. 7:17 and counting. Third and goal. Complete. McCluster. Flag down. As Iheanacho dragged down McCluster.
Personal foul, harassment and face mask, defense number 33. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
He gets there, Iheanacho, but he grabs that face mask. That was an awesome job of fighting through the formation, his own players.
Number 74 is an eligible receiver, 74 eligible.
Ball inside the 1. 6 linemen up front for the Chiefs. First and goal. Give it to Charles. Charles leaps up and over and a touchdown.
That was some drive by the Chiefs. A lot of toughness involved there. A lot of grit. Don't see this as much as you used to, do you, Jim? But what a job jumping and going over the pile. If he doesn't do it, he's not going to make it. I think that was Nate Irving in the backfield, number 56, that's going to make the tackle. But Jamal Charles makes a good decision, goes over the top.
That's what Marcus Allen used to do here when he finished up his career with the Chiefs. Fly right over the top. Suck up now. Connects it. Makes it a 7-point game. Still 6.5 to play. A big 4th down conversion. A long drive down the field. 17 plays in all. And the Chiefs are back in it. The Chiefs are coming off their longest drive by plays, that is 17 of the season. They picked up 8 first downs on that drive alone to cut the lead to a touchdown. Scooped up Caldwell. Caldwell almost lost it for a moment. Little reach in, and there is a flag out. Is there a flag on the far side?
Yes.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 56. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Some of the early headlines. Luck and the Colts hold off the Titans. And that puts them in huge position in their division. Eagles have won 4 straight. Pull even with Dallas in the NFC East. And again, the Patriots find a way, outlasting the Texans, coming back from 10 down at halftime. There's a look at the AFC playoff picture. Baltimore at 6-6. Miami with a win over the Jets is 6-6. And that's Moreno for 2 yards. Before today, the longest drive allowed by the Chiefs this season for a touchdown, 88 yards. Well, the last 2 drives by Denver have been longer than that, 92 and 95 yards.
Second down and 8 from the Denver 12-yard line.
Second half possessions, all scores, all touchdowns. Moreno split out to the bottom of the screen, 2nd and 9. Pass again. They work on the guy that Cooper is covering. It's Decker for a catch of 17.
Yeah, and they can't even get to a position to double team the outside receivers. That time, Peyton Manning split the running back outside. That makes one of the safeties go there, and you get one-on-one down the right sideline with Cooper and Decker once again. I say you double Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker, and you go one-on-one with the other guys and make them run the football.
First down run, Moreno. And that's Smith on him first. Moreno coming off a 224 and that tender ankle today. 13 carries, 23 yards. Make it 14 for 23.
He's just a different player this year. No Sean Moreno. He says nothing's changed, but he plays tougher. You see his intensity all the time. He knows what to do.
Second and 10. It has to be a false start against the Broncos.
False start, offense number 27. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and the crew want to welcome those of you who saw the Bengals come up with a big road win over San Diego, 17-10, to improve now to 8-4 on the year and drop the Chargers to 5-7. Here in this one, Kansas City was out ahead 21-7 at one point in the first half. 28 unanswered by the Broncos, with Manning today throwing for 5 touchdowns, 4 of them to Decker, but we're coming off a Kansas City touchdown drive that lasted 7 minutes and 47 seconds and cut this to a 1-score game. 2nd and 15. No, yep, there's the flag. It came from the back judge, not with the guy that was running down the field with him. Intended for Demaryius Thomas, and Sean Smith's going to draw the flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. Automatic first down.
Pretty easy to determine what they're going to do. 5 wide receivers, so you got singles on each side. He's off, so he's going to take the easiest throw. They've been having success with it all day long, and that time Smith was in great position. The throw was not going to be there, but that's easy for me to say. When that football's in the air, the tension builds, and sometimes you panic and hit the receiver before you should.
To the ground, and again, they're covering up Moreno quickly today. Eric Berry in the backfield. This Kansas City team has all of its timeouts. Now, as soon as I say that, they elect to take one. They're first. By the way, next week, regional action on CBS. Some will see early that Miami at Pittsburgh game, and many of you will see Tennessee come in to take on Denver, as it all starts with the NFL today at noon Eastern time. We'll be out there with Denver. We look forward, like everyone else does, to seeing John Fox back on the sidelines next week. Having a chance to visit with John later in the week, setting up for that game. He'll be returning to the compound coaching tomorrow, coming back after the aortic valve replacement surgery, and great to see him recovered and back home and getting back to work. That tackle by Berry set him back 5 yards, so it's a 2nd and 15, and a flag's down at the line of scrimmage as the pass is incomplete.
Udo shift. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And first matchup between these two, they never even got a hand on Manning, much less sacked him. And today, they have had pressure on Manning, unlike that first game. But again, no sacks by the team, that being Kansas City, that led the league in that category. And it's an empty backfield here for Manning on 2nd and 20. And they blitz, and they find Moreno. And Moreno going along for a first down. He's got 4 Chiefs around him. He takes it all the way to the 35. And he's still crawling. Look at him. Look at Moreno. And there are a couple of flags out, too.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 66. The offense made a first down, so after the 15-yard penalty, it'd be 1st and 10.
Manny Ramirez called for that, but it's a 31-yard completion and a lot of yardage after the catch for Moreno.
Watch the safety this time, Hussein Abdullah. He goes underneath, and now no chance to make the tackle. That play, the underneath route, they do it with Moreno that time. That's something they started with Marvin Harrison.
Here comes Ramirez into the pile.
Oh, just lowered his head, the crown of his helmet, just hit anybody that was in the way.
Again, as you heard from Terry McAuliffe, 1st and 10. That's ball for a couple. But how about Moreno after he gets tackled? He's still crawling. Signal first down. You talked about that passion and intensity. Timeout, Kansas City.
Well, I think it's why we showed early in the game the tears coming down his face before the game.
Yeah, in the anthem.
Yeah, it's either the anthem, the bigness of the game, and then his determination to get ready to play today. And how about that?
Hey, watch the way. He's already been tackled at this point.
I think he's making a point there.
Boom. And again, in the anthem. We just happened to capture this. Can't explain it.
No, but
we saw it.
well, he's had another good day. The formations by the Denver Broncos in this last drive. The 5 wide receivers are spreading out. Kansas City's made some tough adjustments to it, and it's been the difference so far for the Denver offense.
2nd and 7. Chiefs down to 1 timeout. Manning's pass incomplete. He had pressure by Poe. And now a huge 3rd and 7 on the way as Moreno returns to the huddle.
Well, you don't want to say it's a game, but it's close. 3:45. 1 timeout, the 2-minute warning. We've seen the Chiefs. They're going to have to march it down the field, so they need all the extra time they can get.
Poe coming after Manning. Pass incomplete. Defended by Zombo. Intended for Tammy, and they'll force the Broncos to punt.
Hard to second-guess many plays for the Denver Broncos, but this one, a screen, pretty careful when their guys have been shaking the defensive backs down the field.
McCluster at the 10. Remember his ill-advised fair catch at the 3 earlier in this game.
Oh, this time he's got his heels at 10.
Britton Colquitt, who's never had a punt block. Sends it high in the sky, flies to the 5. And it's down at that point by Steven Johnson. 40 yards and a beauty. As Alex Smith gets up a few more warm-up throws before coming out there. I'd like to drive him down one more time like he did a moment ago. And again, so much on the line here. The division lead. The chance to be going down for the last 4 games in the first position in the AFC seedings.
Yep, everything on the line really for the Kansas City Chiefs here. You saw Alex Smith with those extra warm-up throws. He really likes to keep the feel of the football. A little chilly, doesn't wear gloves. That's why he continuously warms up during the game.
3.5 to go with 1 timeout. From the 1, he throws it out. Almost pulled down by Bo. Webster on him, no flag.
How can that not be a penalty just from here? Now, I could be wrong, but the contact as the ball is in the air and he goes up to make the catch. Good try by Dwayne Bowe. Top of your screen, is there contact before the football gets there? And I'll tell you, that's good coverage. I'll backtrack.
Second and 10, and hold on. False start against the Chiefs.
False start, offense number 84. Half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Broncos and Chiefs. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here at Arrowhead Stadium. 60 minutes coming up next, everywhere except on the West Coast. Second and 14. Throwing out of the end zone. And the ball goes out incomplete. They rule it on the field. Avery, who's had a hard go of it today, and ruled incomplete. Chris Harris stripped it out of his hands. Avery's hurt.
It never really doesn't look like he had possession long enough and pulls it in before that football is knocked out by Chris Harris. Jack Del Rio is going to challenge this.
This is the old, you call it the bang bang play.
you know what happens a lot of times? And we'll see. It looks like a completion when you see it in slow motion. But when you're running full speed, you go too quick.
Denver's challenged that the pass was complete and recovered by the defense. Timeout.
So Terry McCauley will go in for a close examination of that last play. Donnie Avery on the sideline. He landed awkwardly on his arm, but this is the big question. Was it a catch and a fumble?
Full speed, catch, boom, comes out. It's pretty quick. And then when you watch it in slow motion too, you also see there's a little juggling of the football.
Yeah, when does he have full
You
possession?
think he's got it, and then there's a little move there at the end.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Denver is charged with their third and final timeout. Denver is out of challenges.
But even losing the challenge, Kansas City faces a monumental challenge. From the 4, 3rd and 14 on the way with 3:21 to go.
Yeah, tough decision here to be ready. Is it 4-down territory if it's 4th and say 14 for Andy Reid? 1 timeout left and a 2-minute warning.
A.J. Jenkins comes in for Avery. Need to get to the 18 for a first. Pressure. Smith. Deep ball and caught by Jenkins, who just comes in for the injured Avery.
What a job. What a blitz. Alex Smith, watch the crowd that comes around him. They do a little game up front. It's a late blitz, and he stands in there, gets hit. And that was a beautiful throw over the top of Webster.
His biggest contribution as a Chief. Jenkins, 26 yards. And Smith hung in there. First down. Another deep one over the head of McGrath.
He tried that play earlier to Fasano, and he dropped it, but A.J. Jenkins, what a job by him. I did not see a push-off. When Avery was down, A.J. Jenkins sprinted onto the field. I watched him and said, this is the guy that wants to get out there, and that was some catch.
Jenkins traded early in the season for John Baldwin as the Chiefs and Niners exchanged former first-round picks. 2nd and 10. Fake to Charles. It freezes the defense. And spin. Has an open man. It's McCluster at the Denver 41.
Beautiful throw. I mean, that was perfect once again. The catch speaks for itself, but the play-action pass right down the middle.
Good for 28.
And Alex Smith he's laser sharp, no doubt about it, all day long throwing the football.
With 2:14 to play. Smith again. Sideline. Has it. Right over Webster. And the Chiefs are set up at the Denver 19. That's good for 23.
Well, Jim, that was beautiful back shoulder throw. Watch down the middle. The play action fake. Look how wide the safeties are. And he throws it perfectly. And we're seeing more of this week by week from the Kansas City Chiefs. Got to be able to throw and catch those back shoulder throws in this league if you want your offense to be top notch.
First catch for Bo since the first quarter. 3 straight 20-plus yard plays. Smith down the sideline and over the head of Bo this time. 2:03 to go.
Yeah, my first thought is before the 2-minute warning, why were the Chiefs in such a hurry? Because time is not going to be an element against them unless they score and they leave too much for Peyton Manning. But Denver, because of the challenges, is out of timeouts also.
Kansas City has the 1. Second and 10 from the Broncos, 19. Smith hit when he threw it. McCluster for a short gain. Give him a couple as we reach the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 8 will be coming up as we're down to the wire here in Kansas City. Tonight on CBS, it's all new. And it begins shortly with 60 minutes. We have almost 1,000 yards of total offense here. And we're coming out with 1:56 to play. With Denver trying to hold off a late rally by Kansas City. 3rd and 8 for the Chiefs. Avery is back in the game on the near side. Looking left, though. Pass caught by Jenkins. And he's ridden out of bounds by Webster.
Really good idea, unique formation, but the execution, the throw and catch, it wasn't crisp enough, and Jenkins was a little slow getting started.
So it'll be 4th down. 4th down coming up.
Well, Jack Del Rio, a very aggressive coach on the defensive side.
Got a stoppage of play here. They're going to review the spot.
Okay.
McCauley heading over to the replay monitor. Gives Reed and company a little more time to draw up a big 4th down call. Maybe they're checking to make sure it was a catch. Yeah, that came close to being in contact with the ground. He caught it.
Beautiful. That little bit probably cost him 2 or 3 yards, the delay of just re-catching the football.
Pretty remarkable turnaround, though, when you take the Chiefs down 14 in the 4th, and previous drive they had to convert on a 4th down on their own side of the field. This time they had the ball on a 3rd and 14 at their own 4.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The pass did not hit the ground. It is a completed pass. 4th down.
Now what will they call from the 13 on 4th and 4?
Well, gave Andy Reid a little extra time, that look, to see if it was a catch, to think about his play selection. I think I'm more interested to see if the Denver Broncos just decide to send an all-out blitz and make Alex Smith get rid of the football quickly.
And remember, one of his big options, talking about Andy Reid, Fasano, shaken up in this half, is out. The guy for them usually in the red zone. Looks to the end zone. Incomplete. Mike Adams defended it. They were looking for Bo in the end zone.
Yeah, they were. He might have had the first read. I think he thought the pump fake to the right was going to open it up for Bo in the end zone. Watch the pump fake. But the safety, boy, that's a good job of Adams not losing and being affected by the pump fake to the other side. Disappointed.
Nice job. Broncos 13-yard line.
Andy Reid and his team with their chances in the red zone today. Their first drive of the game, they got picked off in the end zone. This time they get denied in the end zone. Play by Adams, and that's Ball. Running all the way to the 41.
Let's just go back and look, Jim, at that last play. Now, it's easy to sit up here and second guess, but he's going to do a double move. Oh, he doesn't do a double move, so I was wrong. So I thought he did a little move go and he was going to be open. That fake was just to try to get the defense to move so they could throw it backside to Dwayne Bowe.
Mike Adams, a 10-year man in this league. And with Raheem Moore injured and IR'd, Adams seeing more action. He was a longtime member of the Cleveland Browns, and he comes up with a big play. Of course, Decker, career game with 4 touchdowns today. The Chiefs are going to lose a 3rd straight after 9 wins to open.
It's funny now, you and I, 3 Chief games here we've done recently, and now you look at this football team, how things change so fast in the NFL. You look at them, Jim, the strength of their team right now is their offense, not their defense.
I'll tell you, for Denver, big-time driver's seat now for the division. Again, we mentioned it earlier, sweeping the series over Kansas City. 1-game lead, really a 2-game lead. Going to be heavy favorites in all 4 of the remaining games. And of course, in the 1 spot right now, KC might be looking at the 5 seed when it comes playoff team time. And there's their schedule the rest of the way. They'll hit the road for Washington and Oakland.
Well, Kansas City's going to have to find a way to win these close games. They thought they had it last week. They gave up the long drive to lose to San Diego.
Now the big battle for Denver will be holding off New England the rest of the way for that one. So that if it's an AFC championship, if it's a rematch for these two from the game a week ago, it would be in Denver if the Broncos are able to hold them off. And New England, by the way, very favorable schedule as well the rest of the way. Although they will have a game down in Miami. Could be interesting. What a game this was. Kansas City, the last 2 weeks, puts up 66 points in 2 weeks and loses on both occasions. To San Diego first, Denver today. Jack Del Rio, how about his job as the interim head coach?
How about this 4-game span he had as the interim head coach?
Really?
The toughest in the NFL this year.
San Diego, Kansas City when it was unbeaten, at New England, Kansas City, and Arrowhead. They come through at 3-1. Of course, I know what they're thinking. Should have been 4-0. Yes. They had it. No fault of his. Again, there's the lineup tonight on CBS, all new. Partner's been a great weekend. Enjoyed sharing Thanksgiving with you.
You had enough football yet?
Yeah, let's do another one. Yeah. Dallas on Thursday.
No, next Sunday.
Here in Kansas City today. Thanks for being with us, folks. For Phil Simms and all the crew, Jim Nance saying so long. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.